Hello flight simmers, welcome back to the channel and welcome back once again to the FlyByWire A380 of course. Still an amazing aircraft, so I do want to continue flying it. And we are doing so today from Tokyo to Honolulu, and as I've announced after the last video, we are continuously inching up the routes with the A380. So last time, of course, kicking off with a very short flight below 1 hour. Today it is somewhat longer, going from Tokyo to Honolulu. Now I need to take a sneak peek at my flight plan. 6 hours and 31 minutes. So yeah, decent long haul. I mean that's essentially longer than cross Atlantic on some routes. So it is a long haul. At least I would call it that, but of course it is still so incredibly far away from the maximum capabilities of this aircraft. But yeah, 6 hours. Looking forward to that. We will depart Tokyo during nighttime and then get to Honolulu in the morning hours. So looking forward to a nice daytime landing into Hawaii later on. And yeah, I really love the paint scheme on these ANA or ANA or whatever you want to call it, A380s. I think they have 3 of them solely for the purpose of operating the flights between Tokyo and Honolulu, and each of them with a different color scheme on the A380s. So today we are going with blue one, Blue Turtle I think it's called, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, we're sitting here. I was actually planning to fly online, but it is it's not possible due to some very odd reasons, because when I logged on, this parking spot was taken, and I hate to spawn into other people. That's just something you don't do on the network. There is one more A380 spot on this airfield, which is this one. However, this is not available in any GSX config, so I really struggle to set it up. So yeah, we're actually going offline. It's a pity. It doesn't happen that often that I get ATC out of Japan, but yeah, unfortunately not today. It is very empty here at this part of the airport. Back there, I think there's a little bit more traffic going on. Yeah, slightly, not much. And yeah, we have GSX boarding going. I hope it will not take forever, which it might as well do, since it's 479 passengers going in there. Holy guacamole. Right, in the meantime, of course, we have plenty of time to set up everything in the flight deck, and that's what we will do right now. So here we are now starting off with some lighting. Where do I get my... It's not storm lighting, it's normal. Where do I get my normal dome lights? Okay, we've integrated main panel floodlight. Alright, we have pedestal flood and ambient light. Strange, is there no dome light like we have on A320 for example? Maybe I'm just missing it. But yeah, whatever. It will work like that. Looking at the overhead, that is looking okay. We have logo lights. Oh, that's also not modeled. Interesting. But I think they are on by default. Navigation lights are on. Strobe lights are off at the moment. They were on when I put them to auto. Oh, now it's okay, so we can actually leave them on auto. Right, of course, SimBrief is all loaded up. This is our flight to Honolulu. We can take a look at the SimBrief dispatch. So kicking off flight 370. Once again, fairly decent payload in here. Maximum takeoff weight, still plenty of room. However, looking at this shows me today we have, let's call it 100 tons of fuel in here. If we load it up to the maximum, which is above 200 tons, then there's no way we can go a heavy zero fuel weight. At least this is what I'm reading off these numbers. So if we're going on a really long flight, then this becomes very relevant indeed. Right, other than that, I I don't think we need to overcomplicate it right here. Maybe we can look at the weather for the arrival, which, since it's tropical down there, might be interesting. Yeah, showers in the vicinity. Nothing too crazy. Might be a little bit reduced visibility, but no thunderstorms or anything like this forecasted. Right. Let's see. Flight plan. Init. Request flight plan. Yeah, I actually intended to learn a bit more about the aircraft before doing this video, but due to time reasons, I actually did not read a lot about the A380 in the meantime, but I will surely try to do this for the next one. Okay, so here's our flight plan. Yeah, those are aligned, so this is good. Departure, we are departing runway 34 left on the Borlow 2 departure. Let's look at it right away. So starting from 34 left, we climb out on heading 337 all the way to RES 4000 above, 7000 below. So this is very, very interesting if the aircraft will stick to this. And then without further constraints onto Borlow. And then later on flying the Killarney 3 arrival, transitioning from Dano. So let's do this right away. I guess we can set up 08 left, I think they typically use. ILS 0 left. Killarney 3 transitioning from Dano. Right, insert. Okay, that's that. Nav 8, we don't really need to worry about. Fuel, let's see. We have a zero fuel weight of 308.6. That's incorrect, but I guess this is gonna be increasing as GSX is loading the aircraft, I assume, at least. Fuel on board 0.1. No, these numbers are definitely odd. Very odd. Fuel on board right now is 97.8. Okay, so that's something we need to double check. Maybe after GSX is done. I don't know if it's updating in between. And then takeoff performance. Also something we need to do later on. Okay, so for now, I'm afraid there's not a whole lot we can do, actually. Alright, now it seems to be sinking, so passengers are actually increasing. We are almost there, almost fully loaded. In the meantime, I have learned how to actually insert the trip wind. It works with a tailwind and headwind component. So today we have a wind component of plus 56, so that's a tailwind of 56. So we are nicely capturing the jet stream here. So let's go tail 56, and then this should work. There we are. On the last flight we did not get this to work, but now it works. Right, and now coming to fuel and payload, and let's see what the aircraft does. Not not sure if there's a way to update this page, but I guess zero fuel we can update, just not sure how we update the fuel, but okay, let's see. So this is fully loaded. We have a zero fuel weight of 349.8, or we need to round up, so 349.9. 349.9. 34.8. 34.4 actually. 34.4. Taxi trip route reserves alternate 6.5. That is actually correct. Trip 72.8. Minimum destination fuel 11.2 also makes a lot of sense. I'm just wondering, how do I update my fuel? I mean, we have the fuel loaded, it's just not showing here, which is strange. So that's why the calculation, of course, is not working at all. Oh, we have 25 on arrival, which is okay. Takeoff weight 44.7.4 is actually also okay. Maybe the weights in itself are okay, it's just fuel on board level which is misindicating. I guess that's the reason why. Okay, right, let's continue takeoff performance. So I've run SimBrief in the meantime, so we get V1 of 142, VR 154, and V2 160, and that's on a flex temperature of 63, flap 1 departure. Takeoff trim, I think actually we can make it work, so that's, I believe this might be the center of gravity we just saw on the previous one, 40.4. 40, maybe we should just go 39.5, just where it's at right now. Guess that's the best shot we have. Pegs on, NTS off, thrust reduction, acceleration 1640. I guess that's okay. Right, so that's all inserted. This is okay, cruise, and then of course the other stuff we will look at later on. Optimum 405, that's interesting. So maybe we can even climb higher, but depends on winds, of course. I guess that's that on the FMC. So let's kick on the APU like that, and let's see. So this is manage altitude 15,000. I think that's okay. Yeah, that's okay for now. Maybe double checking also the flight plan since we do have constraints in there. So areas 4,000 above, so we're gonna be at 7,000. And Alpha 4 Lima 12, 7,000 or below. And that's the thing I mentioned on the last flight as well. For some reason I can't delete it, which I very much feel like it should be possible. But then we will maybe just select open climb, and then we don't necessarily need to maintain this altitude constriction. Right, of course we need to run some checklists as well. Cockpit preparation checklist. Gear pins and covers, remove fuel quantity. We have 97.8 tons on board. Oh, it's kind of hard to click. Barrel reference is 1022 on all three, indicating 160 feet. And that's completed. Next up will be before start. Alright. APU bleed then. External powers coming off. Parking brake is on. Services. Closing the door. Yeah, ground power, I think it always shows on. Let's see, maybe we need to disconnect it. Does it even turn green, or is it just sticking to yellow? Is he coming or leaving? I'm confused.
Hello, Captain. We
Guess
are
it just
ready
arrived.
for pushback.
Okay, GPU, if we remove it now, maybe it disappears. But maybe not. Anyhow, fuel pumps.
Departure checks complete.
Beacons. No electronic devices can come on, and then we can run the before start checklist. Parking brake is set, takeoff speeds and thrusts are inserted. Can we see a note here? No, it doesn't read any flex temperature here. Beacons are on, checklist completed. Alright. Okay, and we need to be facing... there is no south from taxiway Tango, so southeast Tango 3 works as well.
Release parking brakes, please.
Right, let's release those fellas.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at release.
GPU guy is still there. Alright, off we go. Beautiful. Nice, nice, nice. What a huge aircraft. Okay, I guess one thing we can do right now is actually disable the cabin, since it's Emirates cabin first of all, and then we can... There we go. Oh, now it turned dark. Now it turned dark as well. Interesting. Right, let's fire up the Rolls-Royce engines. Overhead is looking okay, and then we can start with the number 1 maybe today. So let's see, last time I was not super happy with the startup. Let's see how it works now. So far nothing at all on N1 starts.
1 hour later.
Okay guys, I might have done the most stupid thing. I forgot the engine start selector. Now it's start. That is incredible stupid of me. However, I am confused because I believe on the last flight I got the engine start without it. At least I don't remember switching it. Alright. I think we can even do parallel start on 2 engines, right? Holy guacamole. But yeah, of course this is coming from the A320. This is of course a little bit confusing to have it up there. And now it even looks a lot better compared to last time. Wow, that was very, very stupid of me. But sometimes it happens. Transponder standby, yeah, that's a good point. interesting that I can't switch it. Last time I was able to switch it, but okay. Whatever. Oh, clear. There we go. Okay, starting 1 and 2. Alright, available. Forward engine starts. Now this back to normal. If you bleed off, master switch off. This is coming to arm. Flaps 1. Trim should be set. We do a flight control check. Full left, full right, full up, full down. And rudder, full left. And full right. That is set as well. Checklist. After start. Anti-ice not required. Pitch trim takeoff. Rudder trim neutral. Checklist completed. Taxi checklist. I think we actually start taxiing first. So this one and runway turn off lights. Cool. Brakes RTO. Let's go. Okay, so we take a right-hand turn on Tango, then a left one, and then we will eventually taxi down on Alpha. I think it is parallel to the runway. Alright, so we're closing in on the runway. In the meantime, I have on my other monitor, I'm reading up the FlyByWire guide, which is very good, and of course I should have done this earlier. That is for sure, but I just read it right now. So the way we figure out the trim is we go to takeoff performance. Now here we have the THS actually trimmable horizontal stabilizer, and the value we see on the primary flight display in magenta, that's the current value. So what we need to do is we put in 40 in here, and then we need to trim it to match the 40. I believe that's how we do it, like this. Right, now that we are at the runway, let's get ready. We need to read the text checklist, of course, in the meantime, or before we do this. TU config should be okay. Taxi checklist. Flight controls check. Flap settings 1. Radar. Auto. Not sure why it keeps going back to standby TARI norm. Okay. Radar. Weather. I don't even think it is. Or is it implemented? Maybe it is. Unsure. And then take off no blue, so that's completed. Lineup checklist. Runway 34 left is identified. Cabin crews notified. Packs 1 and 2 are on. Checklist completed. Okay, let's go then. Strobes. Landing lights. Takeoff lights. Now we need to do 2 more turns and then we can leave Tokyo. Yeah, so still I feel like the nose wheel steering is a little bit odd compared to other aircrafts, so it takes a while to get used to it. And on top of this, I have to admit I'm right now a little bit happy that I'm doing another offline flight with this one before taking it on the network. Okay guys, we are ready. Let's go. Take off towards Honolulu. Man, flag 63, SS and runway, auto thrust blue. Sounds are really good. Just about 80% N1. V1. Rotate. Oh, I love that smooth rotation. Pause array, gear is coming up. It really is that soft giant. Having these reflections here on the windshields, I mean, it's very nicely modeled. However, I'm not a huge fan, I have to admit. Okay, climb power. Yeah, power even came up a touch. Nice. A little bit of a boring departure, unfortunately. Shall we look for the auto flap retraction? Let's see if it works. So I think at some point it should put in the flaps part. There it is, auto retraction. Not just the slats out there. Perfect. Right. Flaps up. $250 knots. We should see a pretty good climb rate right now. Yeah, that is crazy. I think it's a little bit too much, but they said this. That it's actually a little bit overpowered in that regard. Let's continue open climb because I don't want to run into the altitude constraint, which we still have here. I can't delete it. Can't change it as well. So, but we can go direct. We don't need to fly the whole thing, I assume. So we can go direct to... let's go Borlo all the way to the end of the departure route. Borlo. Direct insert. Very, very good stuff. Do we have an after takeoff checklist? I don't think we do. No, we don't. Right, guys. We are on our way to Honolulu. That was nice. Still many things for me to learn about this aircraft, and also just to get used to the flows. The ignition start or the engine start switch on the overhead panel is one of them. And yeah, let's hope for a nice flight, and then I am very much looking forward to land this one into Honolulu later on. Catch you later, guys. Hello viewers, welcome back to the flight deck, and we have the island straight ahead. Now I'm blanking on what the island itself is actually called. Wow, I can't seem to remember. Oh wow, that's what it's called, I think. I hope. I think that's what it is. Right, so island straight ahead. We are on the star, which I will pull up right now. So flying from Adeno towards Killarney, and then flying the Killarney 3 arrival, Baffer 8000 above, and then Schultz. And from there we will head straight to Selig, and then on the approach for runway 08 left. It is a normal ILS approach. From Selig we will have 17.6 DME from the identifier, which I believe is at the end of the runway. So yeah, it will be a little bit shorter than that towards the final approach, I think. And then yeah, normal ILS. Of course, in case of a missed approach, we climb towards the south, holding at Alana at 5000, which makes a lot of sense, avoiding the terrain. So we will head out over the ocean. Then on the ground, we still need to set up the brake to vacate. I think it's kind of fun to do it together. We can try actually exiting on Sierra or Delta. We can also go hotel maybe. I think that would be convenient. And then pretty much for every airport we have this fancy chart, which is kind of funny. It's always been there, but we never need to pay any attention to it. But now we need to do, and that is really interesting. However, we are kind of lucky, because here it does not really impact us. We can take any of those exits which I've just mentioned, and then cross into the apron, and then we will park it up on, I think, Charlie 4 is where they usually stand. So these are the heavy gates. So Sierra would be ideal. Then we just need to taxi straight in. It's a very short taxi. Right, that's the plan. Weather in Honolulu is pretty fair, so that's looking good. Let's dial this one down to 4000. Yeah, that's looking good. Right, and now quickly, let's set up brake to vacate. Yeah, data I've entered in here, so 050 at 9, giving us 8 knot headwind component, 5 knot crosswind. Okay, 27 degrees, 3004. Right now it's 5, so let's update 3005. Yeah, let's go config full. Last time we did config 3. Let's try full today, just see what the difference is in terms of handling. And then right, brake to vacate. Let's quickly do that. Yeah, below 10,000. Let's kick on the landing lights. And aircraft is decelerating. A little bit late though. We are also above profile, VNAV profile. And then I need to go into plan mode. Sorry, I forgot about that. Right, 08 left. Runway disagree. That's strange. Right, so we have the wet marker here, so we shall take hotel in that case for BTV. Okay, now it works. Perfect, and BTV is armed, as easy as that. Now let's see how much above we are. Vertical deviation, here it says 18 feet, here it says 500 feet. Yeah, we're pretty much spot on. 8,000. That's where we are supposed to be. So we're actually spot on the VNAV profile pretty much. So that's a good thing. Checklists. Departure change is not required. Approach checklist. Babel reference is set 3005. Where do I... Oh. No, that's not what I've been looking for. Where can I change that? Strange, okay. Let's leave it in hectopascals then. That is checked. Minimums are set to 13 barrel. Auto brake is BTV. Checklist complete then. Yeah, seat belts I think we can also put on the no mobile devices right now, since we are coming in for the landing. Yeah, so this approach once again works really well. Landing system. Looking at Volanta these days is absolutely nuts. It actually would have been very cool to take this departure on VETSIM, but yeah, maybe for the next A380 flight I will really try to go online. But look at this. I feel like I've never before seen the virtual skies that busy as they are today. Insanity, really. I mean, part of it is I think World Flight is going on these days as well, but look at these. It's like looking at Flight Radar. You can actually see these Emirates routes heading into Dubai. Europe is packed, Atlantic is packed, States are packed, even South America is really, really busy. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. But I love it. I love to see that kind of stuff. Right. Let's see, we are really getting there. Just double checking the charts for any speed constraints, but there are none. So one thing that is either not implemented or maybe something that the A380 simply does not do is that it has the sort of the point where it decelerates for the approach phase, or where it automatically activates the approach phase. So I'm not sure if this is not implemented or if it's actually, according to reality, that this is not something the aircraft has. Caught me a little bit off guard on the first flight, so I will try to be in time today. Which, yeah, 20 miles, I think we can actually do it. Now we can lose some speed. Yeah, by the way, we're really coming in with a lot of fuel. So right now 35 tons still in there. According to SimBrief, we were supposed to come in with 20 tons. So a little bit of a difference there. It's either the SimBrief profile is not entirely accurate, or winds turned out better than expected, but usually SimBrief is quite accurate in that. So yeah, just one thing to keep in mind for maybe operating longer flights. Nice, look at this. First time ever on this channel flying into Honolulu, actually, because I never had the scenery for P3D. It's just, oh, what is happening here? No. That caught me off guard as well. Everything is becoming really laggy right now. Let's go flaps 1. It's strange. Why are there so many stutters? Yeah, we need to make a little bit of a nosedive here. Flaps 2. Let's see if this still works out. Next up will be landing checklist, I suppose. $10 miles to go. Actually a little bit early for gear, but I am considering. I know, you know what? I think we're gonna be fine. For some reason, the aircraft has more drag than I've ever experienced on any other aircraft. So we can actually dive down with a crazy descent rate and still maintain 200 knots. Okay, glide slope is captured. Yeah, we're doing fine. We are doing just
2,500.
fine. Go around altitude is set. Speed brakes to arm. Oh, just remembering, need to start the flight recording, of course. Right, gear down. Maybe it's terrain radar, just trying to turn it off. Sometimes it takes a lot of FPS. Flaps 3. And let's go flaps 4. All right. So on the first video, if I'm not mistaken, we had a landing rate of 290 feet per minute. So I'm definitely trying to beat that today. My aircraft. Still 16-40 knots of wind, so this is supposed to die down a little bit as we get closer to the ground.
$1,000.
One thing I really love about this airport is that it actually has a golf course located right in there. So when you taxi out to runway 08 right, you actually taxi along the golf course. How cool would that be to actually play this golf course and watch the planes go by? Yeah, still stuttery. I don't know why this is. Might be a sim issue though.
$400.
Drifting a little bit off center line, correcting for that.
100 above.
Yeah, so on the approach I don't really fancy the handling. It's so beautiful during rotation, but approach, I don't know.
Minimum.
Not the best. Continue. It's really
50.
hard to control.
40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Come on, get down there. Get down there. There we are. A little bit skewed. And reverse. Reverse green. Now let's see when this brake to vacate will kick in. Easy. I think we could have made this one even. Now it's kicking idle forward.
Auto brake off.
Okay, so is this how it works? It actually... maybe it's because I actually go a little bit into forward range to turn off the reversers. I think this is what is kicking off the brake to vacate. Right, out on hotel, just as planned. Really, really good stuff. Flaps coming up, spoilers down. 6 hours and 36 minutes. Landing light, taxi lights, strobes are not, although we are not entirely clear of the runway yet. Okay, and then as it is gonna be a very short taxi, clicking on the APU, and then we need to find a stand. There's exactly one suitable parking. And that is taken? Are you kidding me?
The requested position is already assigned to another aircraft.
Oh, I don't know, whatever, Hawaiian. I need this stand, and it's not... Wait, Echo. Oh yeah, it's over there. Ah, get out of there! I need the stand, my friend. Okay, taxi lights off, heading to Charlie 4 now. I actually had to kick out AI traffic. I really needed this specific gate. Right. Yeah, first time for me flying into this airfield. Maybe we should take a scenic flight around. Just to check out Hawaii a little bit. And there we are. Nice. Parking brake is set, APU is on, and we can kill the engines like that. APU bleed is coming on, all the fuel pumps coming off. So many switches. Right, beacons, seat belts, signs off, and then we will call up the shutdown checklist, or parking checklist I think it's called. Parking checklist. Park brakes are set, engines off, winglets are off, fuel pumps are off, checklist is completed. Righty. Right, here we are folks. Jetway is not working. That is a little bit disappointing after having specifically a GSX config installed. But it is what it is. So, touchdown rate today, 103 feet per minute. So that is nice, much better than the last one. And yeah, super happy with this one. And just these stutters were a little bit annoying. Not sure why this is, maybe due to the airfield even, or AI traffic, could be anything really. And yeah, so today we inched it up a little bit with a 6.5 hour flight, and then for the next one we can go even longer. Not quite sure which route to take yet, but yeah, I still enjoy this aircraft so much. I feel like we will even have another A380 flight coming up next week. But let me know what you fancy, guys. Maybe you even fancy some other aircraft. Maybe you are already sick and tired of A380, or maybe PMDG will even release the 777 freighter by then. This would of course also be quite an interesting aircraft to fly. Okay, I guess we will call that the day, and thanks for tuning in. I will see you on the next one. Take care everyone. Bye bye.